Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Overwatch replay here on Hungover Gaming, where Julien and I commentate over our matches to tell you what we needed to do better, what we did well, and just to give you some perspective and tips and tricks to make sure that you're doing what you can as well. So today we have a match on Route 66. It is a simple carry the payload, as most people should know by now, and we start off on attack. Now here we had some pretty strong feelings from our team that they wanted to go mostly DPS, and that was fun. So I go Reinhardt here, and Julien picks up Zenyatta eventually, so that we have a pretty rounded out comp, 2 tanks, 2 healers, 2 DPS, and we're ready to go. Here we are, ready to set up. Here we go. Okay. So I start off by hitting that pole and not being able to get around it. That's dope of me. But you can see that I'm setting up down the middle, but I'm getting shredded. I'm taking a lot of damage, which tells me that I'm getting hit by a Bastion. Julien's set up behind me. He's getting hit from the front, and I'm going up the side trying to give a push. I'm going up the left side because I was taking too much damage down the middle, so I'm trying to set up some of our team to get up there. You can see the Zarya's with me. Julien is putting damage down the middle with a couple other of our teammates, and we've got a Genji floating around doing what he can do to poke out. Now we're stopping that turret. I know that Bastion is down there. My shield keeps getting shredded, and I really need to keep it down while that's happening. So we got this block up. They've got Narisa, a Reinhardt, a Bastion, a Torbjorn, and we're getting shredded by the Symmetra turrets as well. So I decide I'm going to try and move around and do a flanking maneuver. I get this pin on Bastion, bring him down. Really am able to target and single out this Mercy. You can see our Zenny will go down here as well. I drop the hammer here, and I'm able to get a pin on. So now we've got a strong push. We're respawning faster than they are anyway, and so we're able to really get through there. So after coming back, our team is able to start the push, and I'm running back all the way that I can. They're able to take out the Bastion who trickled in. I get back to the point by this point. And now I'm just waiting on the enemy team to trickle in. You can see this Orisa coming in on the right. That's who I'm going to focus right now. She's alone, and I can get her one-on-one. She wouldn't be able to handle me, especially with backup from my team. Meanwhile, on the point, D.Va goes down. She's mini D.Va, and the other people from up top. Now I see this side angle. I can get a pin, and the molten core is wasted because the turret goes down. Of course, Torbjorn is still dangerous, and molten core, but not that much. We've got a strong push, and they're not really able to do much. Julien's focusing on getting this person healed, and there's a Symmetra down here that I'm going to focus on eliminating soon thereafter. Okay, so now we've got a bunch of ults built up again. Julien has his, I'm about to get mine after killing the soldier right here. And so now we have it. We have a strong ult push available to us, but this soldier decides to go out and do his ult on his own, which could have been better, but at least we're gaining some ground, pushing them out. I know that this D.Va, having pushed up so far, actually does have her ult. I was trying to get to a position where I could block it, but I get stuck up on these map bikes, and that really puts me out of position. Luckily, the team is able to save themselves behind the point, and I get a charge to eliminate that D.Va mech. So our team is really doing work here. We're able to get a lot of good pushes in. The enemy isn't really grouping up or using their ults together at all. I get a knockdown there, kill the mini D.Va. I go down to that Zenyatta, but 2 of us are down. Our Mercy reses us, and here we go. Now we're able to clear a lot more. This D.Va Mercy team is really bothering me. I really want to use my hammer to hit them both at the same time. Eventually I get to the mini D.Va and the Mercy, who's left alone. She goes down too. So now we have to worry about people trickling from up top because that's where the spawn point is, but we're cruising along, 5 people on the port. We should be really able to take this point, and we do. So now I'm waiting on the doors to open. Our team is regrouping. Orisa took out our Genji, but our spawn point is very close to here. We're getting some damage from us from Zenyatta coming from up top. Now the spawn is working for them as opposed to us, so I have to be a little bit more conservative as my Reinhardt. I'm using my shield to push us up this hill, and we've still got a very strong push on the payload, and we're taking them out really, really fast. So I felt some damage coming in from behind me. I see that soldier and this Metro. Launched my flame strike at her, and I really want to take out this soldier because we'll have the DPS advantage here. Alright, now we've got them. So we're pushing up. They switched up to a Mei, but she gets orbed and taken out. They also have a Bastion, orbed and taken out. So now we've got a strong push. I come around the side. I'm looking to get the two main healers down. Do that. And even if they had the ability to come back for any reason, because we had the healers out, we would do pretty well. Alright, so that was us. 3-0. Pretty good push. Pretty quick. And now we'll see what we can do on the other side. Here we have our same team pretty much, except for we have only one tank. And that is a little bit worrying to me. I know that having more than one tank is highly advised, and even if we have a lot of DPS ability, it's not the greatest thing to rely on DPS shredding people rather than having another tank. But that's alright. Here we are. We'll hope that our DPS can take them out. So we're going to do the classic setup up top with Bastion and Reinhardt. We're going to go up top on this bridge, and we're going to wait for them to come in. Now, my big worry about being up here is if they have a Pharah, this Bastion needs to be able to really focus and take her out. Or this Genji, who was really happy to be a Genji and wanted to make sure everyone knew that. But I really was worried that the rest of the team wouldn't handle the Pharah really well, and I was focusing on the left-hand side to see if there was a Tracer as well. So as you can see, they have a soldier, and here's that Pharah. She goes up. Now Julien does a good job of orbing her, putting a lot of pressure. Our Junkrat goes down. People are pushing up really, really far. That Mercy has something to hook back onto. Pharah goes up on the left, and our Bastion doesn't have high enough sensitivity to turn. I move off because I didn't want to get shredded up there. Maybe I should have stayed back to make sure that that Bastion had someone to protect him, but at the same time the Bastion should have started moving as well. So 6 and 1 half dozen of the other. In any case, we're taking a lot of damage. My shield goes down. If I had nailed one of those pins there, this battle might have turned a little bit better, but as it was, I go down, and soon thereafter Julien is going to go down. Or he doesn't. No, he saves himself the hook back. Here we go. So Julien is trying to run, get to cover. I'm trying to run back. He gets targeted by that Junkrat. I get there just in time to know that this is a failing endeavor. I'm going to try and cover this Bastion. I might have done a bad job in terms of positioning, getting right in front of him. But I was trying to absorb some of the damage that he was taking. As you can see here, we're getting really shredded. Luckily, this Mercy is doing a lot of work in terms of healing. I probably should have been on this point rather than back, but it wouldn't have mattered in the grand scheme of things. They were going to take that point. They had all 6 versus our 3. So here we have another point defense that is going to go slowly, and if we keep having to trickle in, it'll be very, very difficult to sustain. And you'll see that on this next length that we don't really ever group up in a solid position, and we keep losing the wave fight. So for this section, the respawn times are pretty much equivalent, but the thing is that if you don't regroup from defense, or if you don't regroup from being pushed off of the point from attack, you're really going to have a tough time. And that's what happens to both of us in this. Again, this Pharah is really, really annoying. Her rockets are shredding my shield, and now I am worried about this tire coming in. Could have put up my shield, but I was trying to flame strike it out of existence before it could do any damage. Soldier goes into his match, or his ultimate, so I drop a charge on him, and I'm able to take him out. And so that was a really good move, but then I got left alone, no support after that. So I really shouldn't have knocked down at that point. You can hear the death cam replay while I cut to Julien's screen. So here it is. The payload has come out, and Julien has switched off of Zenyatta to Soldier 76. So our team comp has switched up completely. We've got a Bastion, a Mercy, a Reinhardt, Soldier, Junkrat. So I was really disappointed that we didn't have more than one tank, and now we have 4 DPS because the DPS that we had wasn't cutting it. And it's nice to have Soldier as a DPS because at least he can provide healing, and he does a lot of concentrated damage. But it would have been nice to have a second tank in this area, especially going up against Zarya and the D.Va. So I'm using my shield to protect Julien, and he's doing a ton of damage. We're using coordinated attacks to push forward, calling out each other's targets, trying to work with our team. Of course, you have a wasted charge there that leaves me vulnerable, and luckily the Mercy's there to save me. Julien's just using that funnel corridor as a way to rack up some kills. He gets res there. I push in a little bit. Got this Junkrat that I'm going to take out, and then I'm going to back up. There's that Mercy that needs to go down. Julien's focusing her as well, and we eventually take her down. Julien's getting hit by the Zarya, who's on the point, and the only one pushing it. But eventually we'll single her out too, and she'll go down as well. And that means that we have lived through another wave, and I'm just swinging wildly trying to get at anyone. So as I hear the call out, I'm going to back up, make sure that if the flame strike comes in to damage it, that I can really focus on the Riptire to use the flame strike. Here I'm just charging in, and that was probably a wasted dive. I didn't have any support. We had one down. But we've switched out now. Our Bastion has switched to Orisa. So we have a second tank going up and one that's good on damage dealing defensive stances. So I hear Julien say he's ready to go. I'm going to go in there. We got a res. I'm pushing in. That D.Va uses her ult, but it's a little bit wasted. Julien's shredding people with his ult. That Junkrat almost takes me out, which is really impressive for him. I hear the call out that there's a soldier behind us that's taking people out. So I'm going to go after him because I'm the only one reacting to the call out. Julien gets roped in, and so then does Orisa, but we were able to get him down there. Thank God for the hitbox on that flame strike. So now we're pushing the payload back, we're regrouping, and because of our short respawn route, we're having a strong advantage. They switched up a little bit, they have a Sombra now, but because mostly they don't coordinate as well as we have, even on the one-on-one case, we're going to have the advantage here. So I'm able to get that pin on Junkrat, kill him, and Mercy's able to heal me as I pull out. Again, using that shield as a really great defensive weapon, and also using the charge to take people out. He's super overpowered, I think, Reinhardt is still. But you can see that a simple thing can take him out, but thank God for Mercy with that res. That was huge. They would have won there had it not been for that res. As it is, we're able to push through. I don't want to charge out all the way, so I am aiming for those boxes so I don't go flying past the payload and dive into the enemy teams and back lines. I don't want to get singled out that way. But here we've got a lot of people, so I'm able to get a push. But unfortunately, Soldier had flanked behind us. My charge pin got blocked by Zarya, which is a great move by that Zarya. Great move by that Zarya to really stop that pin from killing the Mercy. And as we're going forward, now we've got some waves, and we're not having even team battles, and we really need to regroup and reset. Julien's doing work, and we've got the Orisa ult teamed up with the tactical visor. we're shredding the enemy team. They're going down so fast, and with 30 seconds left, it's really difficult to come back. Although that is a team kill, then we get the res on one person, which I think is pretty questionable, even if it's near the end. Junkrat sends out his ult. It actually does happen to kill Mercy, which is good for us because it eliminates that res and the healing boost that they'll have, but could have been a very iffy ult if it had gotten wasted. So we're trying to push out here to make sure they can't come back to the point at all, and the team against us is really having a tough time regrouping at all. To see that Mercy actually did get back into the fight, but too late to regroup with anyone, and so that was that. Hey, if you like this hungover gaming Overwatch replay, we do the series every Wednesday. It comes out at 9 a.m. and we also have a podcast on Monday at 9 a.m. and a Drunk Play Let's Watch series on Friday where we play a whole bunch of different games. If you like this, go ahead and check those out. Hit that like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, or send a comment what we could have done better, what you want to see us talk about or play as in the future. So here's the play of the game. Thanks guys. Bye.